rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division. This bout is for the NBA World Heavyweight title. The third man in the ring, referee Brian Gary.
女士们、先生们，下面进行的第3场比赛是美国 NBA 世界重量级冠军赛，要打10个回合。裁判员是福瑞恩·格瑞先生。
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim, weighing in at 214 pounds, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, one of the top heavyweights in the world, Smoking Bert Cooper.
站在蓝角的选手是来自美国宾夕法尼亚州费城，在世界重量级拳坛名列前茅的伯特·库珀先生，他的体重是101公斤。
And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, also weighing 214 pounds, from Los Angeles, California, USA, the former heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Weaver.
站在蓝角的选手是来自美国加州洛杉矶的前重量级的世界冠军麦克·魏维尔，他的体重是101公斤。
Are these guys in each other's face or what?
Pedro, how do we score this fight tonight? It's an NBA title fight.
Essentially, it's the same rules as the last contest. Mandatory 8 count shall be in effect in all NBA title fights. 3 knockdown rule is an automatic knockout.
All right, and we go to the tail of the tape here. Mike Weaver, 40 years of age, 27 for Bert Cooper. Mike's got a 1-inch height advantage. And Bert Cooper, believe it or not, has a 1.5-inch reach advantage at 80 inches, and they both weigh 214 pounds. A great weight for Bert Cooper.
We are set to go, much anticipated by the American contingent over here and the Beijing press. Smoking Bert comes out very quickly, and Mike Weaver has been his custom, very slowly. He knew that would be a concern. We'll see how things evolve here in round number 1. Smoking going for the home run right from the get-go.
Cooper starts early, he gets hit early, and he hits other people early. He put Michael Moorer down early in their fight, but he also went down early in the Holyfield fight, only to come back and really rock Evander Holyfield. And basically, a lot of people think he 1 punch away from being heavyweight champion when he became the replacement at the last second with 2 weeks' notice for Francisco Damiani.
These two guys don't have what you call very good defenses, so there'll be a lot of punches thrown and landed, and some bodies will be hitting the mat.
And we talked about a slow starter being Mike Weaver. Mike Gans had him on the deck in the first round, November 18th of last year in Bakersfield, California, in the very first round.
Mike Weaver
looks a little tight, guys, huh?
Well, one of the reasons that Mike Weaver, was a slow starter, that's what cost him his title in the Dokes fight.
No, Joey Curtis tossed him his title in the Dokes fight.
Well, be that as it may, he was very slow in that round. And very slow in reacting to Dokes being all over him.
Quick jab by Mike Weaver. Rather tentative first round by Smoking Bert. We've seen him a lot more aggressive in the likes one against Holyfield. He came out with both barrels blazing.
They were really surprised that they weighed 214. I'm talking about Cooper's people. Extremely surprised. They thought he was going to come in about 224.
A very good weight for me. A lot of people forget also, Bert Cooper was a cruiserweight up to heavyweight. Back to cruiser, back to heavyweight. Up and down, up and down.
We all remember that first step into the heavyweight division he made against Carl the Truth Williams. God, Carl the Truth stopped him in 8.
Ate a jab for 8 rounds.
But it was also, that was right after he, though, had his network exposure. He took Willie DeWitt out in 2 rounds. Looked fantastic, came back, stopped by 8 by Carl the Truth Williams. That's when he decided, by the way, to go back to cruiser. And shortly after that, he went down to cruiser, fought for the NABF cruiserweight title against Nate Miller, and got stopped by Nate. And he said, okay, I can't make this weight. I'm going to go back up to heavyweight. And he got very lucky against a fellow named Orland Norris, who now is down at cruiser, while Nate is sitting up, Bert is sitting up here at heavyweight. And I say he got very lucky because Orland Norris was ahead on points and ripped his knee open, was in a cast for 6 months after that fight, and couldn't continue, I believe, after the 8th round.
Inside 30 seconds of round number 1, scheduled 10, Weaver and Cooper, heavyweights.
Cooper, of course, lost that title in a 12-round war against Ray Mercer.
We'll continue with the brawl at the wall from Beijing after this. Stay with us.
Here it is, the world's greatest gaming catalog. A selection of almost 300 gaming products and accessories, including John Patrick's library of instructional videos and books on casino games, sports handicapping, horse racing, and the lottery. Shot on location in Atlantic City and Las Vegas, these easy-to-follow videos cover everything from the basic fundamentals and strategy for the novice to sophisticated money management and hedging techniques for the advanced player. And there's more, much, much more. Antique slot machines for home use, handheld video poker consoles, popular family games, chips, dice, cards, layouts, wheels, plus casino-themed fashion jewelry, accessories, apparel, jewelry, stationery, great gift items you won't find in any store. The incredible catalog is yours free for the asking. Order your copy today. Just call 800-283-4411. Operators are standing by. Call 800-283-4411.
Welcome back. Round number 2, the brawl at the wall in the Capitol Gymnasium in Beijing. Humalay ringside with Barney Tokyo Rosenthal and Pedro Fernandez. Mike Hercules Weaver against Smoke and Bert Cooper.
Well, that first round was a classic feeling out round.
It was a dud.
A little quieter than we all expected it to be. Not quite as fast. I think Bert Cooper showing a lot of respect for the punching power of Mike Weaver. In spite of the fact that he's had his ups and downs the last 4 or 5 years, still possesses that great punching power and can take you out at any time.
You know, I think Mike Weaver might have dried out just a little bit too much coming in at 214. That's the lightest he's been in a while. He even said it. I like him somewhere around 218, 220.
Well, you can say the same thing about Bert Cooper.
Bert Cooper was a cruiserweight. Bert Cooper's got a little bit of a gut.
He's got a, surprisingly a reach advantage, as you mentioned. He's got a real long reach for him.
Very long arms, 80 inches.
6-footer. That's very impressive.
That's a prodding jab, probing jab by Mike Weaver, not an effective jab.
Mike Weaver, of course, coming back and joining the 40 and over crowd in pursuit of the world title. George Foreman, Larry Holmes, Bone Crusher Smith is certainly getting toward the 4-0 number.
We had talked years ago about them setting up a whole seniors tour, and then the money got just too good in the heavyweight division. And Mike Weaver and Bone Crusher Smith fought to a 12-round decision not that long ago, with Bone Crusher Smith winning the 12-round decision.
Mike Weaver certainly a man of perseverance, losing 3 of his first 4 professional fights back 20 years ago. He's in his 3rd decade of professional boxing. Never has retired, though. He quite insistent upon that. He just gets away from the game, gets a call from his manager, and said usually set things up for him.
Well, he gave Larry Holmes a hell of a fight prior to his winning the title from John Tate.
He merely chuckles about that John Tate fight. He goes, I had lost every round for 14, 45 seconds to go, and I land the big shot, and he just laughs about it. 1980.
I forget who I saw Mike Weaver fight, but he got stopped in the San Francisco Civic Auditorium, and God knows how many years ago that is. I can't remember.
Won a lot of titles. He's 3-4 in World Championship fights as Mike Weaver.
Now I know it was. Larry Frazier had stopped him in the 2nd round, December 12th, 1973.
Wild right not landed by Weaver.
I was still in college.
We'll continue after this.
Do it again. Come on. There you go. Do that again.
Round number 2 in the books. Another kind of feeling out. Not too much happening in the first 6 minutes of action.
I think a lot happened, though, in the last 30 seconds. Mike Weaver started a body attack. He threw 2 good right hands to the body near the end of the round on Bert Cooper. And you start to see where his strategy might be coming from in this fight. He's going to go to the body and hopefully then be able to come upstairs and do a classic Mike Weaver punch. Cooper being uncharacteristically unaggressive. This is a wild right. And he was very lucky there. Mike Weaver was off balance because that was the perfect shot from Mike Weaver.
So Bert is not smoking yet. Can we agree to that?
Yeah, we expected a lot more aggression
I
from
really
him.
did. I thought he'd come out quickly. I mean, it was a perfect scenario, a slow starter and a quick starter. What would you want to see? I mean,
It's a 10-round fight.
This is a 10-round fight for the NBA heavyweight world title. You got me on that one.
Oh, it was
quickly, Smoking comes out. They do a dozy-do as Hercules turns Smoking around. Smoking Bert.
Bert snarls at
Yeah.
Weaver.
It is. He's just
And this is a lot more characteristic of the Bert Cooper that we know from the Holyfield and from the Mora fight.
started his professional career, and he worked in his corner was the former heavyweight champion.
Very dangerous,
Smoking
though,
Joe
against an
Frazier.
experienced fighter like Mike Weaver to throw roundhouse punches like that and then leave yourself open.
Golden Glove experience. I mean, you know, guy isn't showing a whole lot.
Round number 3 is scheduled 10, Weaver and Cooper. Wall at the wall in Beijing. First boxing broadcast ever coming your way from the Capitol Gymnasium. City of 9 million folks, about 17,000 on hand for this one.
Well, Mike Weaver finally connected with the right hand there, no effect.
He tried to sneak it in over the top, coming out of a lean. He was leaning on Cooper and then tried to sneak it in.
I think the place to hit Mike Weaver is in the temples. I've seen him get hit in the temples. Mike Gans hit him in the temples, knocked him down in his last fight. That's where I think he's susceptible. You hit him on the side of the head, he doesn't seem to respond well. And at 40, who does?
I don't know who he hit in the temple that doesn't go down.
Body
that
shot
body
by Weaver gets inside on Smoking Bert, and now they're kind of doing the testing of strength as they go shoulder to shoulder.
Good job by the referee, Brian Gary. You don't even see him in there.
Good left to the body by Cooper.
You wonder if you could hit the Weaver body all night, it wouldn't make any difference. Certainly one of the most impressive physical specimens in the sport for many, many years.
He's a weightlifter, lifts a lot of light weights. Hey, whoever saw Mike Weaver slip a punch? And time again, I think he slipped 3.
Well, but as I said before, Bert Cooper
Throws wide
telegraphing
punches.
those windmill punches. And Mike Weaver is too experienced to fall for something like that.
Little low blow by Cooper. Weaver looks over at the referee.
Looking for help. Yeah.
Some infighting here, not much going on. Cooper trying to bore his way in. He's got very broad shoulders and trying to go to the midsection. Inside 10 seconds to go in round number 3, and Weaver on the attack. Cooper just covering up.
Again, that same wide punch. Left himself open.
Here it is, the world's greatest gaming catalog. A selection of almost 300 gaming products are standing by. Call 800-283-4411.
Round number 4 is scheduled 10. Smoking Bert comes out quickly and trying to get things cooking here in round number 4.
Well, he came out quick in the third, too, and then took off the second half of the round, leaving it, in my opinion, open to Weaver, who finished with a 7-punch unanswered combination. Not much on it, but nevertheless landed 7 unanswered punches at the tail end of round number 3.
Cooper's at his best certainly when things are like the rules are thrown out and he could just go slugging toe-to-toe. He did his best with Holyfield when it happened. Michael Moore fight was certainly one of the best fights of 1992. That was his no defense, everybody just punching. And that's when he's at his best. In a controlled fight maybe like this, he's not very effective.
Well, he's at his best when he gets hurt.
Yeah.
He needs to get hurt.
Well, I think he's been hurt in that last round a little bit. You know what? He isn't smoking. He's huffing and puffing. I saw him in that corner there. I mean, he was laboring to breathe.
And the question continues, what Bert Cooper do we see?
Mike Weaver just got a very good right hand.
Mike Weaver told me yesterday, I can feel it. I can taste it. I said, what's that? He said, success. Because I know the day before.
Weaver moving pretty nicely tonight.
Yeah, Mike Weaver's making moves that he didn't make 10 years ago. He's slipping the punches on Bert Cooper. He's bending beautifully at the weight.
Cooper's got nothing on his blows. I just saw him go with 2 pity pats to the body.
Good body shot by Weaver. Another right to the lower midsection of Bert Cooper. Halfway through round number 4, and the veteran Mike Weaver, age 40, the 40 and over crew, continues to make its mark in the boxing world.
Well, Bert Cooper hasn't shown a lot since the Mora fight. Although he dropped Mora big time in that first round, he took a bad beating himself.
Oh, he's got Weaver hurt now. Bert Cooper's got Weaver hurt.
And he isn't throwing any blows. Why? Because I don't think he's in that good a shape. He had a chance there, Huey.
Remember, Bert Cooper's looked terrible since the Mora fight in 2 journeyman fighters against Dave Jaco and Rocky Papelli. And he might have taken Weaver just as lightly as he took Rocky Papelli and Jaco, and thinks that he can knock out a decision.
To call Rocky Papelli a journeyman would be a compliment.
Rocco's a friend of mine.
Body shots by Weaver as he tries to turn the tide here inside 30 seconds to go in round number 4. Cooper having the best round of this fight so far. Nice combination, although it's not followed up, and that could be, as Pedro said, maybe a little bit of lack of the confidence in his physical fitness for this one. He really poured on. Round number 4 coming to a close in Beijing. All right, round number 4 in the books, and Bert Cooper, good round for him, but once again, not keeping the heat on, not keeping the smoke on.
Good round for Cooper. He hurt Mike Weaver in that round, and he backed off. He didn't do what he needed to do. I thought he could have been a lot more aggressive at that point.
He had him.
We take a look here. Here comes Cooper. You'll see him as he comes in. He starts off with a lead left, and it was the jab that set him up, which is uncharacteristic for Cooper, followed by a right uppercut. And some of these blows, here we are from the other angle. A lot of these blows weren't quite as clean as you might have thought the first time, but the overhand right definitely was good, followed by the left.
Punch at the back of the head seemed to wobble him a bit.
Certainly helped.
Round number 5, Bert Cooper, Mike Weaver coming in, and Bert Cooper having his best round to date in round number 4 with some nice combinations, rocking the former champ, the WBA champ. A quick snapping right snaps back Mike Weaver.
One thing you have to do, though, you have to question, even if Mike Weaver to win this fight, what kind of shot he's got at the heavyweight championship. He was been knocked out by Lennox Lewis, who holds the WBC title now, back in July of '91.
And then he in turn sparred with Lennox Lewis in his preparation for Razor Ruddock. So he feels very strongly that there's still opportunities out there when he sees the Holmes and the Foremans and these Bone Crusher Smiths out there. He always says, I watch TV and I see these guys and I feel I still got to be very competitive and win some of these fights.
Being competitive and winning are 2 different things. I think he sees the dollars. I don't think he really believes that he can win a title.
Well, tonight he might. This is for the NBA title.
Okay.
There are more sanctioning bodies in boxing than we
Smith
need.
Brothers has cough drops.
Exactly.
You guys say that for every fight, every card.
The sanctioning bodies or the Smith Brothers?
Oh, big right hand by Cooper, and Weaver not throwing as many punches as he did the first 4 rounds. For Cooper, a veteran of 214 professional rounds, all very, very tough rounds, I might add. And Mike Weaver over 330 professional rounds.
See, we figured there's 1.5 million people here that have 1.5 billion people that haven't heard our act yet.
Yes, there are 60 million TV sets in China.
Oh, right hand. He's got Weaver hurt. Now he's going to try to take him out. Smoking Bert's got Mike Weaver hurt against the rope. Weaver trying to...
Weaver had hit him with the right hand, and like we said, it was a wake-up call for Cooper, and he came right back for a right-left combination.
Mike Weaver has 1 minute to withstand this.
Look at the huffing and puffing. He isn't throwing combinations. Bert Cooper is not in very good condition.
Weaver recuperating quickly here as Cooper kind of lays off.
He's trying to get his legs back. That's why he's trying to bounce there and see.
You know, I always think the weight is deceiving, Arnie, because it really doesn't take into consideration the body fat content of a fighter. And I think Bert Cooper's body fat content is quite high.
He certainly has had good rounds in 4 and now 5, rocking the former champion both times, and not being able to finish up work here. Smokin' Bert, age 27, Mike Weaver, 40, and the younger man getting the better of here in rounds 4 and 5, just 10 seconds to go in round number 5. Some good exchanges.
2 good rights by Bert Cooper.
Good round for Smokin' Bert. Philly.
All right.
We get a look at Mike Weaver's corner. That's twice in the past 2 rounds, gentlemen, and he's been rocked pretty good.
Well, Bert Cooper coming on real strong now, Huey. I've got it even at the end of 5, but Bert Cooper seems very much in control, but he also seems very tired in his corner, huffing and puffing. So we'll take a look here. Watch Weaver come with his right, and that starts it, and he dropped his left when he threw the right, and Cooper came back with a 2-punch combination, worked him against the ropes, and then ran out of gas after throwing about 4, 5, 6, 7, and that was it.
Yep.
Take a look again here. Watch Weaver throw the right. There's that right, and he dropped his left hand when he threw the right, and Cooper came back.
So let's be honest, if Bert Cooper was in shape, he probably should have finished him right then and there.
We head into the second half of this scheduled 10-rounder. Bert Cooper and Mike Weaver with the Smokin' Man turning on the Smokin' rounds 4 and 5, rocking the former champion twice. Both gentlemen have been unsuccessful in the world title shots. Bert Cooper 0 for 2, and Mike Weaver has won 3 world title shots and lost 4 of them.
He did defend the title twice, though, while he was champion. And one great fight against Jerry Coetzee in Johannesburg.
He made some money down in South Africa. That was rather taboo.
He went over there and fought Johnny Deploy twice. Beat Johnny Deploy once, got KO'd over in South Africa.
I always used to watch Johnny Deploy get dumped on FNN or take dives, either one.
I don't think he took a dive, but he did lose a fight that everybody was surprised to Ronaldo Snipes. Just quit for no reason.
There was another one I'm trying to think of where
They knocked out Bigfoot Martin on scores. And another good right by Bert Cooper.
The right hand is getting in there, and sometimes the left is...
Weaver's dropping his left. He's dropping it like nobody's business. Keeps going down it. Every time he throws his right, he drops his left, and Cooper's coming right over the top.
Not a whole lot on the punches of the former WBA heavyweight champion Mike Weaver. A lot of pity pat, a lot of arm. Backing up too. I never see Weaver back away from it. Usually Weaver likes to come forward and exert his upper body strength. Not tonight.
Midway through round number 6, and Bert Cooper has turned the tide since about round number 4 and keeping the pressure on. Although we question his preparation in this one, because he seems to be bleeding rather hard as well. You can sometimes give Weaver a little leeway because he's 40 years of age, but Bert Cooper is 27.
Hurt him, Mike. Hurt him. Hurt him.
Yeah, Mike Weaver has nothing on the punches. Pitter-pat, just sticking it in there to more than annoy than actually do any damage.
Arnie, I think Mike Weaver's looking for a second win. What do you think?
I haven't quite, I was about to say, I don't know if he's going for a second win or he's in survival mode. And it's just going to go through the motions for the second half of this fight. Got rocked a couple of times and said, nah, that's it. Because he doesn't seem tired. He hasn't been huffing and puffing in his corner. Cooper's huffing and puffing, although that's part of his style. He huffs and puffs in the first round.
Inside 30, round number 6.
Weaver keeps the left too low, though.
Ooh, that left just grazing the face of him.
Oh, and a good left hand. Followed by another good left and a right.
Cooper not following up inside 15 seconds of round number 6, and this is the 3rd straight round that he's rocked the former champion, has not followed up.
Well, he followed with a combination shortly after. Now that right hand over the top. Left hand very low on Weaver.
Smokin' Bert really turning on the afterburners in rounds 4, 5, and 6, and some big shots. He just spits the water up. Looks like the Looks like a fountain over there. You can look at Smokin' Bert. And the round girl, of course, trained by Pedro Fernandez.
And trained very well.
I'm looking at Mike Weaver over in his corner, and he looks very discouraged. Very discouraged. But he's dropping that left hand, but he actually got hit, though. We'll see the replay here. Watch for the left hand from Cooper. Nope, that's not the one. Watch it. There's that left. Now he comes in a lot slower. Here it is from the other side. Short right. And watch that left hand over the top now. Perfectly timed left hand.
And why did the left hand score, Arnie? Because the right hand was down around his waist.
Usually what happens.
We head to round number 7. The brawl at the wall, and so far it's the best of Bert Cooper here in round 7 as he's scored not knockdowns, but certainly some terrific shots in the previous 3 rounds.
He's put 3 good rounds together now, Huey. He's up in this fight. Definitely taking control.
Okay, Tokyo, give me the scorecard.
I've got it 58-57 in favor of Cooper.
So do I. Identical scores.
Although the momentum has definitely shifted. This is Cooper's fight at this point.
And I think this is youth more than anything else here.
13 years is Cooper Weaver's junior, and like Weaver, although appearing in terrific shape, there's things that tend to go a little bit as you get older.
Reflexes.
Arnie, you can attest that.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, it's okay.
Cooper going for the home run.
I'm the same age as Weaver. I'd be happy to be fighting as well as he did. But things like, you drop your guard, you see an opening. Cooper's able to take advantage of the openings. Weaver's not taking advantage of them. It's that simple.
The reflexes aren't there at 40, let's be honest.
Cooper trying to come over the top of the right, and you said Weaver has gone into the survival mode.
Although I have to tell you, my feeling, if you took the best Mike Weaver and against the best Bert Cooper, I think Mike Weaver wins the fight. Just not the 40-year-old Mike Weaver.
Exactly.
Quick right hand, snaps back the head of Weaver. Cooper on the attack, and Weaver just trying to keep him away.
Mike Weaver cannot penetrate that peekaboo or crossbow defense of Bert Cooper.
Crossbow like that.
Crossbow via Archie Moore. Good left hand got in there from Bert Cooper.
And it recently has been employed by George Foreman.
And learned it from Archie. Good straight left by Cooper.
Inside 1 minute to go on round number 7. The Capitol Gymnasium in Beijing, China.
Weaver continues to keep that left low. Cooper continues to want to come over the top.
Cooper looking for those big shots that he landed in rounds 4, 5, and 6 thus far. This round he has not been able to put anything together. Like Weaver trying to get something going here, but has not followed up with anything after the combinations.
Come on, Mike, don't wait. Come on, take him back. Good.
Inside 10, round 7. Cooper trying to get out, get inside. We'll continue with the brawl at the wall from Beijing after this.
Here it is, the world's greatest gaming cabinet.
Welcome back to the Capitol Gymnasium in Beijing, People's Republic of China. The brawl at the wall, the first boxing broadcast in this country's history. Back to the States, and you're looking at Mike Weaver and Bert Cooper in the NBA world title, going on a 10-rounder. And so far, the man in the black trunks with the Smokin' Bert on it is on the attack, and so far having pretty much his own way at least the past 4 or 5 rounds. The former champion Mike Weaver, age 40, entertaining thoughts of getting back into the loop, so to speak, in the heavyweight ranks for another big payday is certainly...
It's not going to happen, Huey. It's just not going to happen. He can't get unwound. There's no timing there. This is not even a shadow of the old Mike Weaver.
No.
And watch...
Doesn't even have the punch, Tokyo.
And just watch. No punch left. Well, it's not so much, I mean, the punch would be there if somebody just stood in front of him and let him hit him. He doesn't have the timing to really set down on it and make sure that it connects. And you watch for Bert Cooper to come over the top with the right and end this fight.
We're in round number 8. And
I think Mike Weaver would be fortunate to reach the 10-round distance tonight.
oh, he will. He's been stung 3 or 4 times here, but he continues to recoup. As soon as I say that, he'll probably go down. But like you said, he's taking that survival attitude right now. He's not really mixing it up like he was in those middle rounds.
Got to thank a few of the people here in China. Jay Edson, the top rank coordinator, who came over and coordinated these fights. He put everything together here. Harold Smith and, of course, Mr. Lee Ray.
Been treating us fine here.
Mike Weaver turning his back, very discouraged, Arnie.
He's doing a lot of side shuffling here. His legs are gone. He's walking away, trying to walk side to side, doing the Walcott shuffle.
Trying to get the jab out there, trying to work it off, but as you mentioned, I just don't think the reflexes are there. Seeing Bert Cooper appears not to be in good enough shape to really press the issue. So this continues to go on here in round number 8.
Well, it's another case, like we said before. Cooper will fight per the pace of the guy he's fighting. He'll be happy to take off the rest of the fight and win on a decision. But I think with the way Weaver's keeping that left hand low, watch for Bert to come over the top.
Mike tried to turn quickly in that right hand and just grazed the face of Smoking Bert.
He almost fell down there, Mike Weaver.
The balance isn't there. The timing's not there.
That body hurt him. That body hurt him.
Inside 30, round number 8. And the former WBA champion, Mike Weaver. Trying to rekindle some of the flame that brought him some glory. Nice combination at best. Best action the last 5 rounds for Mike Weaver. As he lands a good combination, although it doesn't seem to faze Bert Cooper, who only gets upset when he gets hit.
Well, interestingly enough, though, because Bert Cooper gave away some of the early rounds, and I gave that round to Weaver, it's still a 1-point fight with Cooper up 77-76, quite unofficially on my score.
78-76, I've got Bert Cooper up.
So, with 2 rounds to go, it's still anybody's fight.
According to my stats, I think Bert Cooper has lost 1 fight only by a decision. He hasn't lost a midnight KO. So he likes to end things.
Live and die by the sword.
Mike Weaver came on real strong at the end. You can see him. He starts to go to the body of Bert Cooper, goes downstairs. He'd love to land that overhand right. That's the punch that he needs to get in. He hits, even today, he hits Bert Cooper flush with that shot. They'll count him.
Round number 9. And Mike Weaver felt he started to get a little flow, so he tries to turn up the pressure here right from the start. And Bert Cooper is more than happy to oblige.
Jump over him now. That's right. Walk around him. Stop a little. Now put them together. Good. Do it again.
Weaver's starting to employ some lateral motion, which is confusing Cooper a little bit and keeping Cooper off stride, taking a lot off of Cooper's punches.
You know, this is not the Bert Cooper that fought Evander Holyfield or Joe Hip or Michael Moore. I mean, I go on and on. This is not a smoking Bert Cooper. This is more like a smokeless Bert Cooper. But the fact that he's in there against such an inept or an old guy tonight, he's able to shine.
Well, don't count this guy out yet. Weaver's having another good round. He takes these last 2 rounds. In my opinion, he wins the fight. Doesn't make him the Mike Weaver of old, but he might have enough tonight to beat this Bert Cooper.
Bert Cooper, one of those fighters who fights up or down to the level of his competition, and maybe he's having a little too close to the call here tonight.
Good left by Weaver, followed by a right uppercut.
Bert Cooper is tired. Falling around, his legs are not solid under him. Bert Cooper did not do road work this past week and a half here in China. He did a lot of running on the treadmill, and I don't believe in the treadmill. I think he's got to get out there and run the hills.
A little cold here, though. A little too cold for that.
More than one shot. Come on, bang him in
Very tough to come over to a strange town like this and have it be a cold, strange town for 2 weeks before a major fight.
Cooper was reportedly doing sprints in the halls at the hotel, which I don't know what that was. So a quick left hand by Weaver. Weaver trying to turn up the heat here. Scorecard, at least from our game, unofficial, I might add.
That body open, that body. Oh!
Good body shot in combination by Weaver.
Making me eat my words.
No. That's all noise. That's all noise, Mike.
Inside 30 seconds of round number 9, Mike Weaver, after falling asleep, rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7, came on nicely in 8, and not a bad round number 9.
We're working the body now of Weaver, but I'm not sure that's a good strategy. I'm not sure that's something that's going to help him out quite a bit as he swings in the jab with that 80-inch reach. Cooper not using his reach advantage. Not this round anyway.
Just missing with a wild right hand. Good action in round number 9.
I've got to tell you guys, I got it even at the end of 9.
87-86 favoring Bert Cooper.
And I got it even at the end of 9. So this fight can go either way.
Now, we can look at the corner of.
I've got to tell you what,
Bert.
something really interesting just happened. Cooper's promoter, Rick Parker, just came over, heard us here and talking about the scores. He's running over into the corner of Bert Cooper, telling him, hey, they got it even. They got it close. He needs a knockout. Here's the replay. Look at that. Good body shot followed by a good right, followed by a right. They're trading blows there. To me, Weaver had the best of that exchange, but anybody's fight right now. It's going to be how badly they want it.
10th and final round.
Welcome back to the 10th and final round of this 10-rounder. This is Mike Weaver and Bert Cooper for the NBA World title. And it's a close one, at least on the scorecards. The two gentlemen to my right, double jab by Mike Weaver.
That was just shortly before that, Cooper threw that overhand right. Weaver does not want to let the slip away in the 10th round by keeping that left hand low and letting Cooper come over the top. Double up on the jab and throw the right is what he needs. Cooper needs to get that right hand in. Good right hand by Weaver.
Mike Weaver, the 40-year-old former champion, continues to put the pressure on. And Bert Cooper, who looked so impressive the first half of the fight, kind of went to sleep.
Lack of conditioning.
It's a long 3-minute round on the 10th.
And for a man who scored his most dramatic win in round 15 back in 1980 over John Tate, nothing is too late.
Mike Weaver slipping punches in the 10th. Look at him, flipping there. Bert Cooper missing. Weaver having a very good 10th.
Bert Cooper is very flabby. I didn't like his conditioning coming in. I don't like it here in the 10th round.
Mike Weaver doing the duck job. Would you call that a Peking duck? You knew I had to say that. I'm sorry. I had to get that.
Now, is it Beijing duck or Peking duck? We'll find out later, folks, but we got a great 10th round going on here.
Certainly the best conditioned athlete is the 40-year-old, the senior citizen. Oh, just kidding. Mike Weaver looking far better condition than Smokin' Bert, 27 years.
Bert Cooper, no accuracy on his punches whatsoever.
Before I forget, we've got to thank a lady that's been a great help to us this week, Lee Smith. She's been great.
Inside 1 minute, Mike Weaver continues to try to pick his shots, and Bert Cooper looks like he has pretty much shot his gun, and there's nothing left there.
Weaver, good left by Weaver. Oh, and Bert Cooper hits him with the right-left combination. He doesn't want to lose this in the last 60 seconds.
Big shots by Cooper. Really going to count, coming to life, and Weaver saying, come on.
A lot of that was blocked.
Seconds ago in this 10th round, plenty of action going to the scorecards It appears, unless one of these gentlemen can land the big shot. 10 seconds. Marty Dakin.
I wonder whether Bert Cooper did enough to pull that around. Oh, a good combination. Never mind that. That's Weaver's round.
That's it. 10 rounds.
I got to tell you guys, I had it 116-113 last fight, and one of the guys called it that way. I'm giving you a 96-95 for Mike Weaver. I'll see you up at the ring.
I'm calling it 97-97. This fight is a draw.
So we'll come back with the judge's decision. We'll continue with the brawl and the wall and the decision of Bert Cooper and Mike Weaver after this. Welcome back. There's a look at the 40-year-old Mike Weaver, who came on strong in rounds 9 and 10, very, very strong, and might have pulled this one out. He feels good. Replays, Pedro.
Well, here we are in the 10th and final round. Mike Weaver on the attack. Bert Cooper not offering much back here at this point. Good body shots, good head shots, an assortment of punches there for the former WBA champion connecting.
There's Smokin' Bert. Smokin' Bert appears to have rather a close call here at the brawl at the wall. We'll have to see. There's Mike Weaver, who appear to be in trouble. Michael Buffer has the official tally from the judges.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. Robert Burt scores about 97-93. Larry Rosalia scores at 96-94. And Paul White scores at 98-93. For the winner by unanimous decision, Michael Weaver.
There he is, Mike Weaver, 40 years of age, winning the title, the NBA World Championship belt. This has to be considered a very large upset in Beijing.
A very large upset in Beijing, but let's be honest, Smokin' Bert Cooper had no smoke. Early on he did, down the stretch